Hello and welcome back here to World Talks on TVP World, where every word matters. I'm Diana Skaya. From new Western aid packages and advanced weapons changing the battlefield dynamics to growing European support for Ukraine's EU integration, there's really no shortage of developments shaping the Ukraine-Russia conflict. Meanwhile, Russia's nuclear rhetoric, the involvement of North Korean troops, and ongoing disinformation campaigns add further complexity. And here to help us unpack these updates and the broader implications, I'm joined by Oleksiy Goncharenko, Ukrainian MP at the European Solidarity. Good morning, sir. Thank you so much for being with us here this morning on TVP World.
Good morning.
Oleksiy, first let me ask you this. There's reports coming out, of course, here I have by social media channels. If I'm not mistaken, they're reportedly pro-Russian Telegram channels that say that Ukraine last night fired these British storm shadows into the Kursk region. What do we know about this? Do we have a confirmation from your country's end on this?
This is a military operation, and usually there is no confirmation of military operations officials. But from what I see on video and other things, I think we can be quite sure that yesterday it was not during the night, it was during the day. Near 10 storm shadows who attacked Russian command point in the Kursk region. Some very significant command point. We don't know exact result for the moment, but attack really happened. And this is absolutely good news.
So you're saying you don't know the results, but are you saying this because Ukrainian media hasn't reported anything about this?
Yeah, Ukrainian media, no other media has reported yet what is the result of this attack, but we have a videos of this attack, those who were present and so on, so we can be quite sure that this attack happened. We don't know what the result was, but the attack had happened.
Oleksiy, how do you think Russia is going to respond?
Nothing. All these Russian talks about nukes and all this stuff, it's a bluffing, just bluffing. They told if Ukraine will be given Western tanks, there will be Armageddon. Okay, Ukraine received Western tanks. Not many, unfortunately, but received. Where is Armageddon? Then if Ukraine will attack Crimea, okay, Ukraine attacked, and what? If Ukraine will attack Crimean Bridge, attack. And now then, if Ukraine will receive F-16s, receive. Now, if Ukraine will attack inside Russia by ATACMS, attacked. So all this is just bluffing from Russia, nothing more. And that's I'm sure about.
So you're saying they're empty threats. Oleksiy, so Biden had approved the delivery of anti-personnel landmines to Ukraine. Of course, the aim is aimed at blunting Russian advances in Ukraine's east. Now, what impact could the delivery of anti-personnel landmines and advanced Western weapons have on the dynamics of the battlefield here in Ukraine moving forward?
Yeah, these anti-personnel mines are important for us because Russians are attacking. And now they are very actively using infantry attacks, not to buy some armored vehicles or tanks, because they lost a lot of techniques and they don't have enough of this. But they think that they have enough people. They don't care about people. So they just, no difference how many thousands will die there. That is a Russian warfare style. And by this warfare style, now they are using a lot of infantry. And to stop this, we need anti-personnel mines. So this is a good decision from President Biden administration. In general, I want to tell you, you know, after already we know that Biden is leaving, his politics became much more really active. If Biden would act like this from the beginning, I think we would be in completely different reality today. Russia would be defeated, the war would be ended. But we have what we have, and I want to thank President Biden for these last decisions. They're really important.
There is something interesting you just said there. You just said that if Biden had approved all of this earlier, you just said the war would have ended. Is this the reality? How so?
Yes, it is. If anti-personnel mines, HIMARS, ATACMS, permission to attack military objects in Russian territory, and all other things, F-16s, would arrive a year and a half ago, in the beginning of 2023, Russia would be finished. If it would arrive in 2022, everything would finish before 2023. Yeah, unfortunately. But we have what we have. Too little, too late, but it's better than nothing.
So why now? Why do you think that Biden approved this really with just under 2 months left in office?
Probably he was constrained by elections, and maybe he was thinking, his team was thinking that some tough steps can be dangerous from electoral point of view. Maybe this is the case. I really don't know. I don't have an answer. It's a pity that they were not enough decisive to make more decisive steps. Maybe they were afraid of Russian bluffing, and then they realized that this is just bluffing. I don't know, but we have what we have.
Okay, so let's try to fast forward 2 months from now. After Trump takes office, what do you think will happen then? Do you think that he's going to try to shift this policy that Biden sort of speeded up in these 2 months?
In one thing we can agree, that we don't know what will happen after Trump will get in office officially. It is predictable that he is unpredictable. So it can go different ways. Probably he will try to stop the war, how he said. We know that he is now looking for a person who will be a special envoy on negotiations between Russia and Ukraine with American participation. Probably that's what will happen, but we don't know for sure.
And do you think that, you just said that an envoy, he will send an envoy. I mean, he's been quite clear on that. And with everything that's happening now, do you foresee a near-term breakthrough and that Trump will actually be able to get Putin on the negotiating table? Do you see that happening?
From what I know, there's information which was given yesterday, I think it was by Reuters, about how they see the end of hostilities. With the freezing of the conflict on current lines, with Ukraine not joining NATO for some time at least, but at the same time some other security guarantees they're not objecting against these. As I know, this is something which is real, some real Russian position, which they delivered unofficially to the West and to Ukraine.
Oleksiy, let me ask you this now. There was a phone call that was made between Ukrainian President Zelensky and Polish Premier Donald Tusk. I want to focus on that relationship just for a moment. Of course, Donald Tusk informed Zelensky that he was preparing a 45th support package for Ukraine and that's already working on the 46th one, the next one. Tell me, how significant is this aid package for Ukraine? And of course, what are Ukraine's expectations from Poland, of course, regarding Poland's assumption of the EU Council presidency at the beginning of 2025?
Poland is a very important ally of Ukraine, and we hope very much that Poland will continue to be an ally. And we also hope that Poland will be ready to make also more courageous steps and decisive steps, like, for example, to intercept Russian missiles which are approaching Polish territory close to Polish-Ukrainian border, for example. And this is really important, and that will help to save lives, both Ukrainians and possibly Polish people. So this is important. So yeah, and we hope that we will have a very fruitful cooperation with Poland. Again, I want to thank Poland and Polish people for all support we are receiving. That is vital for us. But I think Poland knows better than almost all other countries in the world that Ukraine is fighting not just for itself, but also for the rest of Eastern Europe.
Oleksiy, the foreign ministers of 5 EU countries and of the UK backed the creation of European defense bonds at a meeting in Warsaw. Now, of course, Polish Foreign Minister Radosław Sikorski made the announcement in an interview that he gave for a radio here. Now, with the EU's growing support for Ukraine, including discussions of these European defense bonds, how is this going to reshape Europe's security infrastructure in the face of Russia's aggression on Ukraine?
Can you repeat, sorry, your question? It was kind of problem with connection.
With the EU's growing support for Ukraine, including discussions of Europe's defense bonds, how is this going to reshape Europe's security infrastructure?
Europe should immediately think about its own security, because being so dependent from the United States of America is a bad thing. Not because the United States is not a reliable partner, but you can't rely on what will happen on another side of the ocean. So Europe has everything to be much stronger. Strong economy. European economy is economy number one in the world. European Union, together with the United Kingdom, Norway, Switzerland, very strong. More than 500 million people, technologies, and everything else. So Europe has everything to be very, very strong. But for the moment, Europe is not. And that is a huge threat and huge challenge. And that is something which should be changed immediately.
Alex, let me ask you a little bit more on the humanitarian side. A recent Gallup poll suggests that the war is really taking a toll among Ukrainians and showed that around a majority of 52% favor a negotiation peace over continued fighting. How is this shift in public opinion affecting Ukraine's strategy and morale going forward?
Yeah, Ukraine is exhausted. Ukrainians are very tired. Just imagine, it's many people are saying, well, 1,000 days of war. It's not 1,000 days. It's 11th year of war. Today is Dignity and Freedom Day in Ukraine. That's the day when Revolution of Dignity started in Kiev, and it was 2013. So it's 11 years exactly. In reality, the Russian aggression started that day. First in hybrid way through the puppet regimes and so on, but then openly. But imagine 11 years Ukrainians are in fight, in the war, in revolution, in very difficult situation. Definitely we are tired, but we know what we are fighting for. We know that for us it's existential. We know on occupied territories of Ukraine, Russia is committing genocide against Ukrainians. We know that if we will lose, Russians will take our children to attack Poland, Romania, Baltic states, and we don't want this to happen.
Thank you.
So we know what we are fighting for, and I'm sure with our allies we will prevail.
Thank you so much, Oleksiy Goncharenko, Ukrainian MP at the European Solidarity, for really breaking us down all the latest developments in Ukraine. Thank you so much for being with us here this morning.
Thank you.
And that completes this edition of World Talks here on TVP World. I'm Diana Skaya, but don't go away. Up next, more news with Claudia Czerwinska. Stay tuned.